Today we're going to be changing the engine oil on my 94 FLHR Road King. The tools you'll need, I'm using a Craftsman 1/2-inch drive ratchet. For the oil filter plug or oil plug, I'm using a 19mm. And to get off my oil filter, it actually has a socket adapter. We're going to be using a 17mm with 2-inch extension. Also, use 20 W50 full synthetic Mobile 1. You'll need a funnel. And here's the instructions from the manual. First thing, you're going to run the engine up to normal operating temperature. Remove oil tank plug. Remove and clean hydraulic lifter oil screen. Remove oil filter. Lube seal on the new filter. That's important. Only hand tighten. And with the drain plug and everything installed. For mine, it's going to be 4 quarts since it is an FL model. Start the engine, and once it's at temperature, engine oil should be checked. So here we go. All right, first thing, I didn't have an oil pan that fits, so I'm just using a simple painter's pan. Hopefully it doesn't overflow. If so, we'll deal with that when we get to it. This is my first time attempting to change the oil. I bought this last season, end of last season. So, just for reference, the oil filter plug is, let's see, linked up. Right there's your engine, and it's right down here on my model. You can see the oil pan. I apologize. She is dirty. I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. Then we'll get over to the other side. Also, one thing, I made this little out of a vinegar, cleaning vinegar container, and this is for when I take the oil filter, which is right there. Just give you a little quick look. Yeah, that's right there. That's just to help clean some extra, or catch some extra oil when I take that off. I also put a little rag underneath there to keep it clean in case any does fall, but that's what that's for. All right, here we go. All right. Got my socket, 19-inch. I put a little piece of tape on there so I can tell this is my socket with my other ones, a little easier. Make sure we're loosening. Take this off. Alright, loosen. A little bit more. It's hand tight now. The oil's coming out. On the end of this, you'll notice there is a little seal. Make sure that's seated correctly. You can change this if you want. I'm not going to change it right now. I'm just going to inspect it. It looks good. There's also a little magnet on here to see any engine debris. Do have a little bit of gunk, but Nothing too serious, but I'm just going to clean that off. Watching the oil here, make sure it doesn't overflow out of my pan. So yeah, that's your bolt with the. One other thing, I'm going to loosen this just so the oil will come out a little more evenly. It is getting kind of high, but I think we're going to be all right. I'm just going to let that continue to drain out. Doesn't look like it's going to overflow. While it's doing this, one thing that's important about your oil filter, I got this one from Harley Davidson. It's model number 63796-77B. There it is. One thing that's important, as the instruction manual did say, you are going to want to kind of pre-lubricate this. Just take off your oil. Go ahead and dip your finger down in there and just right around the seal. One time I didn't do this on an Acura I had, and it ended up pinching. That seal got crimped, and all the oil when I started the car went all over the ground. Thankfully, I was given some fresh. All right, we're getting kind of high here, so with our oil. I had another oil pan, but it was too tall, so I couldn't fit it under there, so looks like this is going to be just enough. Hopefully I won't make a mess. That would be embarrassing, but worse things than a little spilled oil. Alright, it's still dripping out. Let's see. Just going to kind of pull the bike over a little just to make sure it all comes out, but it looks like that's going to be the perfect size pan, just enough. I'll just pull it out carefully. All right, last couple drips. See, the oil's all coming out. Looks pretty good. Definitely a little dirty, but better late than never on this. All right, last couple drips, so I'm just gonna go ahead and carefully pull this pan back. As we're getting the last couple drops. Alright. While it's doing the last couple drops, we'll go ahead and go to the other side and go ahead and take this off. As I said, I did make a little apparatus here to catch the extra oil. Saw this as a recommendation when I looked online on YouTube to figure out the best way to do this. And the other person just let the oil fall all over the place, and someone said, oh, you can make a little catch. You don't make quite as big of a mess. Set this down. Get it in there. Be careful, there are some wires there. I don't want to necessarily hit. All right. And I already kind of loosened this. And I tightened it down when I got the oil, when I had to start it. I almost forgot to start the motorcycle. All right, so I'm gonna kind of loosen it a little before I place this in here. Just make sure it's all the way to the end there. That way I can catch this. oil as I take off this filter. Take off the old. There's the old. Just pull it out, save it over here to the side. And got the new one pre-lubricated so that that seal won't bind up and cause us any problems. Go ahead and put this one on. Remember, just hand tight with this. Righty tighty. Feel it catching, there we go. Just finish tightening it up. It is getting a little greasy with this, but I'll just clean that off when I'm finished. So, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out now. And it did save us quite a little mess there. About that much. I'll put it over in the pan if it'll fit. Just gonna tighten this down, hand tight. Once it warms up, that seal will seat a little better. Come back over here to this side. Yep, looks like we almost filled our pan all the way up. That's okay. Now I'm gonna pull this out very carefully. Try not to spill it. It is right at the top. So I'd recommend just probably going to the store and getting you the right size pan for this job, so you're not quite making a potential mess like I might here. Oh gosh, it's very much to the top of this pan, so living on the edge here. I did put down a little. Oh, it's starting to rain. So, should have looked at the weather better. It did say it was not going to rain, but we're getting some rain now, so that's all right. Clean this off, set this here. Go ahead and grab our oil plug. It's leaking a little, that's why I put some cardboard down. Go ahead and replace our nut. Plug, I should say. Make sure we're going to the right side, righty-tighty. Again, I just put this piece of tape so I can find it. I'll go ahead and tighten her up. Want to hand tighten this a little past hand tight, I should say, but you don't want to, you want to hold the ratchet about here. You don't want to crank this down too much, or you are going to possibly strip out your oil plug, and that's going to be a bit of a problem as far as not leaking. So yeah, just going to tighten that down. Again, not too tight. Oh, the weather cleared up. That's nice. Put a little extra, one little turn. And now, go ahead and add our oil. It did stop raining, but I'm gonna go ahead and wait until it's absolutely clear before I start adding this. I don't want to add any extra water in there. But that's how you change the oil and filter on the 94 Road King FLHR. If you have any tips on how to do it better or something I missed, of course, include it in the comments. And appreciate you watching my first tutorial, my first oil change. Keep riding, stay safe. God bless.